Look, imagine staring at a traditional editing timeline for 8 agonizing hours. You know the drill. Sifting through raw footage, nudging keyframes, literally pixel by pixel, trying to manually sync audio, it is just utterly exhausting. But now I want you to contrast that with a completely different reality. Imagine opening a coding terminal, typing a single, simple command, and boom, watching an entire month's worth of highly polished, visually stunning content render out in mere seconds. That is the massive chasm between the old world of content creation and the lightning-fast speed of terminal code that we're unpacking in today's explainer.
The absolute most successful creators in this emerging niche know exactly how to hook their audience right out of the gate. They present this massive, high-stakes contrast. Quote, I just generated 10 YouTube shorts in under 5 minutes using AI. Let me show you how. That immediate authority presents a highly desirable, totally quantifiable outcome. Honestly, it makes you instantly realize that your current manual workflow, it's completely obsolete. Let's dive into the reality for most creators out there. 6 years of manual editing. It's an endless, punishing grind, right? But by deploying a programmatic content system, we completely remove the bottleneck of human editing. It's wild. By treating video creation exactly like software engineering, you replace hours and hours of manual labor with a scalable machine that just operates at an industrial level.
And hey, if you want to master these exact programmatic content systems and finally stop wasting hours in the editing bay, make sure to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to @BrandTechOff below.
So this entirely new paradigm is what we call video as code. For intermediate creators who are used to working inside, say, Premiere Pro, transitioning into automation and coding is a massive, mind-bending shift. Instead of dragging and dropping video clips on a linear timeline, you're treating video creation strictly as a software engineering problem. You're actually generating React components. Yeah, the exact same code developers use to build interactive websites and rendering them flawlessly as individual video frames. Basically, you're bridging the knowledge gap between being a video editor and becoming a full-on software developer.
Okay, so how does this architecture actually work in practice? First, you train an agentic AI, specifically Claude Code, on your past successful scripts. From there, the AI generates a structured JSON framework. Think of JSON as just a simple text file that holds all your video's instructions, like, text, timing, and colors. That framework is then passed over to a React-based tool called Remotion to render the final visual output. This pipeline entirely replaces the manual video editor. And to prevent viewer drop-off during these kind of dry technical coding steps, the smartest creators introduce a visual split screen. They show the AI terminal generating the code on one side and the live video rendering on the other. It keeps everyone completely locked in. Now you might be wondering, why is this transition an absolute necessity right now? Well, because the 2025 YouTube algorithm has fundamentally shifted the rules of the game. It doesn't just reward mere clicks anymore. It strictly demands satisfaction-weighted discovery and ultra-high audience retention. If you're still relying on manual editing, you simply can't produce high-retention content at the scale required today. You'll just be ruthlessly outpaced by creators who have actually built these scalable programmatic systems. Honestly, survival demands automation. But here's exactly where most people fail. Simple, one-shot AI prompts usually generate videos that look like rough PowerPoint slideshows. Basic, linear animation just looks robotic, cheap, and instantly signals AI slop. So what's the secret? You must explicitly instruct your AI to use spring physics for all animations. Rather than moving at a rigid, constant speed, spring physics add this subtle bounce and ease to the movement. It completely cures that cheap look, ensuring the motion feels natural, dynamic, and heavily professional. And this brilliantly illustrates our next major strategy, visual pattern interrupts. Generating highly customized, non-generic B-roll programmatically is a major bottleneck. Saturated 3D graphics are absolutely flooding the timeline today. So, to stand out, one outlier creator completely bypassed that saturated aesthetic, using the Nano Banana API to generate soft, beautiful hand-drawn watercolor illustrations. Every single time the pacing dips, they change the visual angle. It's a massive visual pattern interrupt that immediately stops the scroll. Just brilliant. So what was the actual ROI of that specific stylistic shift? Get this. By contrasting expected visual norms with a soft watercolor aesthetic, this creator single-handedly drove a 39 times view-to-subscriber ratio. 39. It proves a really vital point. Programmatic,
Code-driven video absolutely does not mean boring generic video. It means you can deploy incredibly unique aesthetic choices at a massive scale, driving unheard-of conversion rates.
You also can't rely solely on one format. You have to deploy a hybrid funnel strategy. On one side, shorts drive your top-of-funnel, rapid discovery. They get fresh eyes on your brand fast. On the other side, long-form videos build deep audience trust and actually drive your revenue. The data on this is crystal clear. Brands campaigning both of these formats grow 41% faster than those relying solely on shorts. And the beauty is, you use code to fuel both sides of the funnel simultaneously.
Okay, which brings us to a massive, totally non-negotiable warning: the ethical deepfake of your own brain. While everyone else is trying to use AI to build these faceless spam channels, you need to remember that you cannot program taste from scratch. Do not use this system to just pump out generic AI slop. You must train Claude on your absolute best-performing handwritten scripts and research processes. You're basically using the code to systemize your exact human intuition, your unique brand voice, your humor, and your pacing. You're automating your human taste, not replacing it.
All right, let's rapid fire through some technical optimizations to really fuel this high-retention daily pipeline. First up, build loopability into your scripts. The algorithm heavily favors shorts that end seamlessly right where they began. Second, automate your transcript extraction using a protocol like Claude Clip, which, by the way, simply allows the AI to read your local computer files to instantly format your content for LinkedIn, X, and Instagram. Third, optimize your programmatic render sizes using a command line tool called FMPK. This easily cuts file sizes by 80% without losing a single drop of quality. And finally, extract at least 10 to 15 shorts from a single batch recorded long-form video to relentlessly fuel your machine.
But we definitely need to talk about the blue ocean here. There's a missing link in this ecosystem right now. While creators can render these files locally via code all day long, a bulletproof method for native YouTube API auto-publishing, straight from the terminal, remains an unsolved gap in the market. Creators are generating these incredible files programmatically, sure, but they're still relying on manual uploading. The very first developer to perfectly bridge that API gap and fully automate the entire publishing sequence wins the whole board. Seriously, it's a goldmine. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. What will you build now that you've basically cloned your creative brain into a version-controlled marketing machine? Because when you treat your videos as code, you aren't just making content anymore. You're managing your assets exactly like a software engineer manages a product on GitHub. The only limit to this industrial-scale system is the exact quality of the data you choose to feed it. The blueprint is right in front.